Hello, welcome to the Mindtrack.net game server. I am currently working on one of the newer decks that are being added. Just got done chatting with Heller, and he had some really good ideas. He wants more labs and engineering stuff added to the ship, and I completely agree with him. Actually, I thought that was a pretty clever idea on what to do with some of the extra space we were having here. So that's what I'm doing, as I'm setting up the area now for that. This ship, of course, or excuse me, this deck, of course, is a free build deck, so it'll reflect a lot of creativity in it. Some of the stuff may or may not work out the way we planned, but for the most part, it should work just fine. I'll be mumbling to myself as I go along here, sorting things out or trying to figure things out, and try not to swear too much as I screw stuff up, but yeah. Yeah, I'd like to add more, a lot more labs to the ship. And, you know, they're exploration vessels, and as such, they really need to fulfill. Oops, I screwed up. Fulfill that role. Again, since this part of the hull kind of dips in, this deck also must come in to comp for it. It's just the math of the way things work, so we must accommodate the math. Math's a bitch, but it's one of those necessary things that, see, I did it again, that we must all embrace. This is how I get my angles right. It starts there, ends there. So it's just one of the methods I use for keeping things in line the way I like to keep them in line. So I'll just go ahead and finish doing this one out because it's got a couple more bends in it. I'm going to add the extra engineering areas, of course, above engineering. I'm going to add extra cargo in this area here. And additionally in this area here it'll be additional cargo, and then along the sides it'll be science labs and anything else we decide to put in there. I don't think I'm going to add any more crew quarters to this deck. I may if there's room, and I really feel that they need to be there. Otherwise they're all going to be where they are currently, and not going to worry about it too much. I'm going to add a third rail or third corridor here. Another thing Im decided is that all the corridors must be 3 wide, and I really agree that that might be the best bet for these. Leave the 2 and the 1 wides for Jeffrey's tubes only, because I can work with those. But as far as corridors go, main corridors, it just becomes a pain in the pipe to try and do it that way. So on the plans, all of these primary decks here, the cross decks, are all aligned all the way down. So these are the only ones that do it. The rest of them stagger, so we can do it and get away with it. This will probably be, again, more labs or storage. I'm thinking about, on this deck here, just leaving the entire center portion of it for cargo storage, and with the exception of the back area. Back here, I might even turn this like into like an extra tank storage for like coolant and stuff like that, or make this the coolant area, turn this into coolant. And was saying that we need some more coolant area, so I'll adopt like what I did with the TOS, or excuse me, with the Enterprise A, which is directly across that way, directly across from this. I'll turn this into a coolant area for the warp core, and then I can adopt this area as a cargo bay and cargo bay. And if I need to, I can easily utilize some of the area over here if it's more engineering. All this tan stuff, all this tan coloring, this is for engineering. So the ship has a gaggle amount of space for engineering. They're all denoted as like life support, structural integrity, machinery for bits and bobs and stuff like that, plus all the room and stuff and the wing struts. But despite having all this space dedicated to engineering processes, they still miss a couple of key things, and M picked up on that, so M wants to comp for it, and we have the space, so we're going to do it. And that was a good catch. I didn't even realize that some of that stuff was missing. Now these are these are the tanks and stuff are actually below us, and the catwalk system below us. Let me scan down there real quick. They have this is where all that stuff is, but we're going to also add an additional amount of storage for it up here. So the Voyager is all about redundancy. I mean, come on, it had to last in the Delta Quadrant, although that wasn't the plan, but it did. So it was a tough little ship. It's not one of the ships I prefer. I mean, it's not. It doesn't really do much for me as far as design goes. But I gotta admit, as far as ships are, it's not a bad looking little ship. It's way better looking than the Voyager class, which was just, yeah. You just do a Google search for Voyager class, you know what I'm talking about. It just looks like somebody was drunk when they designed it. It had these really funky fighter-style wings on it. It was hideous. It was hideous. So I'm glad they decided to go with the nacelle design they went with here. So, yeah, lots and lots of room. What I'll do is I'll set aside a lot of the area that I'll set up where I want the labs and stuff to go, and then I'll leave a lot of the area open and designate for engineering, and then we can figure out what we want to put into it later, or if we want to convert a cargo area into an engineering area, we can. So we'd have multiple choices. It's a modular design, so we can pretty much do whatever we want in that regard. Picked up some editing software. I couldn't renew the license on my old editing software. Thank you, Adobe, you scumbag company, you. But they do offer some free software you can download and trial for 30 days, which I'm probably not going to do because they want $80 for it. And my problem is I spent over $2,000 for my original editing software, and then they nullify the license on it, and yeah, that kind of burned me. But I've had it for like 14 years, 15 years, and I didn't use it for the last 3 years. So I wanted to do the updates and stuff, and it said that it needed to revalidate my license, and they told me it couldn't revalidate my license, and it was just. And then Adobe's like, well, we don't support that software no more. You need to buy a subscription software. I'm like, no. And then the guy recommended I try their demo version of their latest software, and I downloaded the demo, and then I found something called, I think it's, let me check it here real quick. Well, I can't find it, but it's like a live edit software. It's really powerful editing software. It's going to take me a bit to learn it, but it's going to be fun. People are saying my videos need to be cut down and edited and refined. What, 15 people watch the videos at any one time. I mean, total combined 15 people, so I'm not too worried about it at this point, but it's something I would like to polish up a little bit. I did mention in the last video, Bluephobes is testing out the Twitch TV thing. And here's a good note. We got a guy here, Lothan. He's complaining about lag. First, if you let's go back real quick here to Bluephobes. Check out his Twitch channel. The information's in the last video, and I'm sure if you go to the Mindtrek Facebook page, the Mindtrek.net Facebook page, it'll also have information about it in there. Blue's also added a bunch of high-res images of some of the model or some of the builds we have going on. Okay, as to lag, 90% of all the lag you experience on the server is client-side related. That means it's strictly due to your system or your ISP. This is a very heavy resource demanding server because of the large builds, the big open spaces, and the large area to be lit. That's all glowstone down below us. Okay. In order to adequately run on this server, you should have at least a minimum of a GeForce GTX 660 or equivalent Radeon card. Otherwise, you're going to run into issues. I'm running a 760 on this one, and I barely can run it and not have too many issues. Also, you're going to be wanting to run a 64-bit operating system, i.e. Windows preferably. Windows 7 as opposed to Windows 8. I'm not a Windows 8 fan. But it's really your choice. You're going to want to be running Java 64-bit with all the latest Java updates. If you're not running Java 7, that could be a lot of your problem right there. So you're going to be wanting to run Java 7, a 64-bit system with a 64-bit version of Java. Additionally, you're going to want a minimum of 8 gigs of RAM with 4 gigs allocated to running Minecraft, and you can set that up in the Minecraft launcher. You're going to definitely want to have Forge installed, and the plugins that we recommend are Optifine, World Edit, Zanny's Map, and the GUI, the Gmod or Light mod that we all use. And the reason the Light mod, as you can see, it lights everything up. And you need to optimize Optifine for your system. If you're not willing to do those few basic things, you're going to run into problems. Additionally, things like antivirus, backup software, component issues like with Malwarebytes, Avast is a notorious one for it. So you're going to want to set up exceptions in all of your firewalls, all of your antivirus and malware protection stuffs to exclude Minecraft. If you don't, and the whole Minecraft subfolder for all your mods. If you don't do that, you're going to run into problems. That's just the way it is. And again, it's this is all the stuff that we do, and we've found that this really helps us performance-wise on the server. Now, the 10% of the time that you have issues with the server where it's actually server-side is usually when Impeller is running a backup, or there's a high demand on traffic for the server, and it is what it is. But usually that's never really the case. It's always been an issue with the client-side stuff. So that being said, there are a couple of forum tips and threads on the Shipyard's forums that will help you. I suggest you go through there and read those. I'm not going to provide the links because I'm too lazy. But if I think about it, I will include the links in the description of this video, along with a link to Bluephob's Twitch page and all the other nifty links. But yeah, back to building. What I'm doing right now is I'm looking for inconsistencies and ideas as to what I want to do with this this deck here. Like I said, this is mainly going to be like engineering stuff. Of course, this will be hangar. Back here, it could be structural integrity fields and things like that. I haven't really put much thought into it, but I'm going to go ahead and line her out just so that it's done. Do I need to go 2 on this one? No, I should be good to go on that one. Anywhere there's like 1 block, maybe even 2 blocks, I might just put down some magenta so that I don't have to deal with it later on. You can't get in there, so and you can get here, but it's right on the hall, and I can put pumpkin lighting right along here. And with pumpkin lighting, we don't have to worry so much about things getting in the way. But what I'm going to do is keep it consistent all the way down. That way there we don't have to worry about using the hull as part of the actual wall. And since this will be one side will be one type of block, and this side will be a different kind of block, it'll be double spaced or double walled here. You want reinforcement in the hangar area, anyways. Just to be safe. You don't want some dumbass Tom Paris guy flying the shuttle in here and trying to do a 360 over the flight deck, because he's gonna screw it up. It's Tom Paris. I mean, come on, this guy's an idiot. Yeah, there we go. The fun part of ship design. It's not that hard. I'm surprised a lot of people don't do this. I mean, you got guys that create steampunk stuff all the time. You got guys that do all kinds of really interesting, really intricate builds that just blow your mind when you see them. This, starships are pretty basic compared to some of those builds I've seen on like Planet Minecraft and stuff. When I say basic, I mean these things are really basic compared to those guys. I guess I was on one looking at one build that just completely blew me away. It was a 1-to-1 rebuild of a city, and I walked around that thing for days, literally just gawking at it, like I can't believe somebody did this. And then it's funny because that same person that built that city is like walking around one of my starships that I did a long time ago, going, "Man, I can't believe somebody did this." And it's like, we thought that was kind of funny, but yeah. Yeah, it's pretty easy once you get going, I guess. But getting past the first hurdle is always a bit of a issue. It's like, where do I start? How do I start? I don't know what to do, and then you just get burned out, frustrated, and you give up. The main thing is, once you get your basic design down, I run into the same problem. I get frustrated and burned out. Then I go off and do something like masking a hull to decompress and think about stuff. But you just, once you get your primary design in, you can just rework that design over and over and over again and tweak it, and it's not that hard. I know for a fact as the hull slopes in, these have to slope in, or slope out, whatever you want to call it. And I usually use the hull as a line, the guiding line for how I lay out my corridors. And if you look at how they design the ships in the blueprints, that's kind of what they did as well. So I figured I was onto something at that point. See, this is one of those areas we're going to have 4 wide. This will be actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide. So I might shorten this up once it's been paired. But the reason it's this way is because it has 2 rooms and it has a center beam. So this will be like this. So this will actually be kind of wide through here. But again, I can shorten it up by using little tricks and stuff like that. This is like batteries and components and things like that. I don't know why that's there. It's there for something. I'll leave it there until I figure out what. And then down through here, it's because this is science labs. They got carts and things like that. They got to have, set stuff out. And this is machinery room. This is machinery room. Of course, this is an open cargo bay. Another open. We did raise this deck up above us, and so that I could hide the lighting, as you can see here. So we now have an extra height, full height, full 6-block height, which is what we really wanted. I couldn't really do much here, but I could, if I really wanted to, I could raise this up 1, because it's actually hidden by this wall. And I might just do that. Just for giggles, I might actually raise this up to give us more. In fact, I'm probably going to do that. I'm going to raise this area up 1 more to give us height, because these will all be covered up with half blocks, because it's a Jeffries tube. But when I get to here, it has to come back down again. So I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do. I really would like to raise this section here up, so I think I will raise this section here up, because I don't need this height here as much as I need it down here. And when I get to this point, it's mainly just the airlock from this way forward, so it's possible. I'll go ahead and do that real quick here, and we'll see how it looks. And if I don't like it, I can always switch it back. So that's the beautiful thing about undo. And what I do is I come here and I will stand here, and I will cut it. I will add a block, and I will type paste there. And then on this side, I'll just do it manually. It's just easier to do this side manually. There. Then we come back here, and we do it all over again. Again, I don't have to worry about any of that, because it has no access to this. And right here. Actually, I could go right to there, but I'm not. I'm going to go right to there. It'll be fine. Come on, get lined up. There. Cut. I will add my cold blood. Oh, don't screw with me. And paste. Bada bing. Bada boom. And you. To you. Cut. And paste. Done. That's what I love about double walls. I can hide it all. Alright. So, yeah. Half of it's taller than the other half, but yeah, it is what it is. This is a wall, by the way, so that's why I had to stay aligned. You guys are going to have to stay down because of the way it works. And if we don't like it that way, then I can always, if I can't get it to work like that, I'll switch it back later. But for the most part, it should be just fine. And this is of course a wall, so it'll all be hidden. Plus it gives me more height theory. To me that just makes more sense. You know, it just makes more sense to have it up one. And the reason this area here is open is there's actually a catwalk that goes around this, and I wanted to have access to this. I may not actually do that, but it is. I'll consider it. But yep, and then we could step down. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Since yeah, we could easily do that. Okay, so we'll raise this one up to right here. Cut. I thought somebody was looking at me. Getting all paranoid here. And paste. There. Gotta go. My bad. Because this is a doorway like this, so when they step in, it has to. You have to be able to have a step or something to go up. Otherwise, you run into this, and you don't want to do that. So come back over here. Yeah. What's up, buddy? Nice thing is we have the room so we can use it. I need my glowstone back. Yeah. Alright, where are we at? Get rid of this stuff. We don't need it. Hard part is screwing this stuff up and then having to remember how I screwed it up. Okay. There we are. Yes. Get rid of this extra little bits and bobs through here. We don't need this. This is a wall. This will be replaced by whatever the wall is made out of. Probably sand. Sand just has a nice texture to it for building walls and stuff, so that's why I use it. It's also a staple for like when they were building the Enterprise. They used it a lot on the Enterprise build, so go ahead and fill that in. Fill that in. There. Alright. Yeah, I think that'll work out okay. Yeah, this will definitely have to come down one more, but that's fine. That is just fine. That's fine the way it is. There we go. Because this isn't going to be there. And we can easily use little cheats and things like that for this, because let me go down here. I'll grab one real quick and I'll show you what I mean. We can use a half slab there, and this one really doesn't need that because it's like that. But this is just a temporary block to go here to show that this is how it would work. You have to have a space, because if you try to step up from here to here, I'll show you. I don't think you can do it. Let me go and highlight that. Nope, see, it blocks you. So you have to be able to step in and then up. And since it's a half slab, we're able to keep it pretty much the way we want. And then, like with all this down through here, even with this, if I wanted to, I could do it like a reverse half stair. Grab some black stairs. I know I have some black stairs right there. Birchwood stairs. Darn it. Come back here. Birchwood stairs. There they are. Come on, stop it. Do what I want you to do. Yeah, we can do it like this, see? All the way down. Grab my little replace tool. I can't do that because I don't have anything to replace. I end up replacing the magenta, and that would look really weird. Really, really weird. There is no wall here, so we have to take extra care to make everything look appropriate. There. Now, of course, this would be a wall again, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, as you come down through here, you can see that, you know, you got a raised area, and then you don't have a raised area. Well, that's just the way it is. Now, I can shorten this easily, so I could raise it 2 more if I wanted to, because this is in a 4 wide area. So if I wanted to, I could literally move this in 1 and then this here in up again. So even little less area here would be but I'm going to leave it the way it is because this yellow is a nice little divider the way it is. So again, we can tweak that later if we want to. We have the room for it, we can. But yeah, and then up here on this deck is mainly going to be science labs. This will all be like support systems, like structural integrity, just smaller little, like big ground circle things with lines going through them and stuff. This will have science labs, maybe 1 or 2 on each side, VIP quarters. This, of course, is for this, and it kind of goes down into there as well because it feeds down. This is a transporter relay or a transceiver array or something. And I left this area open so that this big area here is the torpedo bay. We can have racks of torpedoes here, and I can easily convert this area here. In fact, we'll just go ahead and prep it right now to be a, actually we'll go from this side. Prep this area right here to be a machine room. Replace wool 112. There we go. Yeah. So now we know it's a machine area, and then I just run my stairwell, stairwell corridor along the same pattern that I have here, except that it won't go all the way back. I'll just close this off, and I'll put a door in there wherever I want the door to be. But what I'm doing now is I'm just following the hole again to get my pattern established. Now on this side, that was weird. Okay, that wasn't me lagging. That was actually some weird ass glitch. But since this here is an upward slope, I can put windows into this, so I don't need to worry about hiding it behind a wall, which is kind of nice because there are windows. There we go. Sometimes people come on the server and I don't know what they're running or what they're doing, but they do cause issues with the stability of the server for us, and it's really annoying. But it is what it is. And usually when M identifies them, they get the boot real quick. Because it's usually a malicious, ooh, we don't want that, a malicious program. They're trying to steal what's on the server, and you know, again, there's nothing worth stealing. If you want what's on the server, just go make it yourselves. Jesus, it's not rocket science. It's not that hard. You know, if you want to learn how to do 3D holes, just go look up Binvox, because that's all they use to import the holes. And you see what we're doing right now as far as cleaning them. You know, it's not that hard. And that's why you see a lot of the time we'll have cleaned, we have masked them, but we haven't really cleaned them until we're ready to work on them. And once we start working on them and people try to come in and steal them, we're pretty sure we know what they're up to, and we curtail that rapidly. But yeah, can't win them all. And some of these idiots keep trying to take advantage of, you know, what we're all doing, so, which is a shame, but you know, people are people. Human nature is what it is. So let's come here, and we know this is a, gotta have a roof on this one. It's a corridor, of course it has to have a roof. And having it exposed to the hall, that'd be suicide. Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. It's ran really long. I apologize for that. If you're still watching, thank you. If not, I'll catch you in the next video. Have a nice day.